Hi there. So it's day 14 and I'm not on my mat. I wanted to have a sort of little one-on-one session with you before we get started. So normally I film our workouts a week in advance or so, and I don't like to rush when I'm editing, and I want to make sure that everything's ready for you on the day that I say it's going to be ready. So I like to be prepared. But unfortunately, I was in a car accident and I haven't been able to film for a week. And I'm still in the process of healing, and my body doesn't feel ready yet to do full Pilates routines. But it is important that I show up for you because I made that commitment to be here for 21 days, and I really take that commitment seriously. And I was thinking, what could I do today? And there are routines that I go back to when I'm having sort of any sort of back issues or anything like that that involve no flexion whatsoever. We're just connecting to our center, and we work some extension, no twisting, no side flexion, none of that. We will flex sometimes, but it will be with gravity. So it's more like feeling good and releasing versus this compression. So if you're someone that has any back issues or osteoporosis or scoliosis or anything like that, this can be a real feel good routine for you. It can help you connect to your center so that you can keep your posture in your day-to-day living, and posture that's not coming from, pushing into our extremities like our hips and our shoulders in order to get that posture, but coming from your center where you're really elongating that distance of the ribs pulling up from your center, and it's not shrugging your shoulders and feeling all tense. Okay, so we're going to really work that today. But thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience. And let's get started with today's session. Okay? All right, I'll see you on the mat.
Okay, so as you lie down on your back, I'm not going to use any props, but if you feel like you have a big arch in your low back or you feel tension, maybe plugging your spine will help. So if you have any questions on whether or not your spine is aligned, hit that eye up there, and that's a great video that talks about your alignment and how you can get aligned on your back. The important thing is we're working posture here. So it is important that we have correct posture here and nothing is arching or compressing, or else it's not worth it to do, right? Okay. Your legs, you want to take your feet a little further away from you so your hips are kind of open. Because what tends to happen when we pull our legs in a little too close, the hips flex and our back kind of flexes with it. Okay. So we want to make sure we keep our back nice and long. So take those feet as far away as you can while keeping them down. Okay. As you anchor your pelvis, you're going to really feel your tailbone long, right? Stretch it long as your ribs stay down, your shoulders stay down. Good. All right, I'm going to take my hands on my ribs, and as you take an inhale, feeling your ribs, your mid back, maybe a bit of your upper back, expand into the mat. And then on your exhale, your ribs pull in, your belly pulls in, and then keep pulling that belly in. So as if I were to come around and try to walk on your belly, I'd be able to because it's so tightly pulled in. Again, you're not using your bones to do this. It's muscular. Inhale, breathe into those ribs. Expand that thoracic back. Those ribs open. Keep inhaling. And then a long exhale right from your center. Everything deflates. It pulls into your center. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Get that corset going even more. Even more. Even more. One more time. Breathe it in. Breathe in from your center, not your nostrils. Open that back. Open those ribs. So we're breathing, inhaling from our back, exhaling from that center. Okay. One more time. I know I said one more last time, but try to breathe into the back and not the belly. Yes, exhale. All right, on your next inhale, breathing into the back, we're going to take our leg, and we're pulling our belly in. We're not letting it pooch out at all. So I want you to take your hands right on your belly. And then on your exhale, pull that belly even more in as you let the leg lower. Other side, inhale. Belly's pulling in because you're breathing into the back. So the belly doesn't expand, right? And then exhale, deepen it. Other side. Tailbone long as the knee comes up. Feel your tailbone pushing away. And exhale. One more. All right, take your hands on either hip bone so your elbows can stay down. Now take your right up. All right, now we're gonna toe tap. You ready? Do not let this belly lift. So place your hands there. Make sure everything's staying pulled in and you're not pushing out. Breathe normally. Don't hold your breath. What's going on in that belly? If you feel it pooching up, it means we need more strengthening to do in your core. More strengthening in the center. And then just release it on down. All right, taking your arms up towards the ceiling, close those fingertips and reach them up. All right, now really allow your arms to get on your back. So we're sort of pulling them into that back little V. Chest wide, back wide. You got it? All right, so let's take an inhale here into your ribs. And then on your exhale, just send those arms back. They stay on your back, but keep pulling those ribs in. Keep elongating your tailbone away from you. And if I go too far, the ribs start to strain, okay? I want to keep the arms straight and the connection from my center. Stay there. Let the shoulders shrug to the ears. Exhale. Feel them connected to your back again. Again, inhale, reach. See how they pull away and that compresses your neck. And now feel that connection in the back. One more time. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale, press it back. Elongate the tail, pull those ribs in. Inhale up. Exhale. Feel that spine getting longer and longer, right? One more time. Bring the arms back up. Inhale, take one knee in. So now we've lost our stabilization of the arms, right? So do we know if our belly is staying pulled in? This is really mentally connected. Now keep the right, keep it up. All right, pull everything in. Keep breathing. Here we go. No pooching. No pooching. Maybe the arms reach a little further back. How did that center go? Did anything change? No ribs popping, right? And then release it down and take your arms down. Good job. All right, so we have our 100. Now we're going to do our 100 without flexion today, okay? So take one leg up. And now take the other leg up without pooching. Squeeze those thighs together. And then what you're going to do is now our knees are at a 90-degree angle. I want you to press those thighs away from you a few inches. Keep those thighs squeezed together. And notice if you've gone too far, your low back's going to arch and your belly's going to pooch. Find that place where you can stay connected. We're not tabletop. That's too easy. I want you to press away. Lift your arms. Find your arms on your back and let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If this ever gets too much, you can take one leg down and then switch. And switch. Right? Wherever you want. Breathe like we've been breathing into the back. On your exhale, deepen your belly. But don't deepen so much that the knees come in, right? We're not changing the shape of the spine. We're keeping that tail long. And then one leg down, one leg down. Awesome job. So in order to come up to a seated position, we turn to the side and we push ourselves up. Good. So all I want to do right here, since we just did a lot of posture work, is let's just sort of bend our legs here and allow our body to just fall over and release. So it's like we're working with gravity here. Breathe into your back. Should all feel good. And then just walk it on up through the spine. Find the connection from your center as you lift up top. Good job. All right, so we're going to lie down again on our back, but I want you to take your props with you. You're going to need sort of that pillow or whatever that you sort of wrapped up to make more like a dome shape. Or if you have like a D roll like this, you can do something like that as well. Okay. And if you need a bigger towel, you'll know if you need a bigger towel. All right. So we're going to do some single leg circle now. So let's bend our bottom leg and lift our top leg. So my right is up, my left is down. And just hold right here and really reach your tail long. So notice if your leg comes too high up, your pelvis is going to lift and that's going to irritate the back. We want to keep that tail long. Anchor that bottom leg. Now that bottom leg, can you pull the heel to the seat and your seat to the heel? You feel that connection, right? The back of the leg like we've been doing. And now circling it. And it's all about how stable can you keep the rest of your body, especially those hips. Push through that tail. And then we circle the other way. Good. Give yourself a little release. Now we're going to stretch that bottom leg long. You're going to flex the foot. So we got to really anchor that heel, anchor the hamstring. This knee now stays bent. And now how stable can you be? And if you feel like, oh, this is easy for me, remember when we pull our leg in, we don't hike our hip, keep pushing through that tail. Maybe you can straighten the leg a little bit. Up to you. And then we do 5 the other way. And then hug it in. Well, this leg hurts a lot from the accident. So it's a little difficult for me, but it felt good also to move it. All right. So this leg's now going to bend and we're going to take this leg up. All right. So press this foot down, pull the heel to the seat to the heel. We want to get length. We don't want to pull everything up into us where it compresses. We want length in our torso. All right. 5 circles. Now it's slow movement. This is basic movement, but it ain't easy, right? This is not easy work. All right, now you're going to bend this leg. You're going to stretch this leg. So from heel to hamstring, we keep that down. And then this bent leg is working. And it's the femur in the hip socket. So if you feel like, ooh, I can start to straighten this leg and it's still working okay, I'm still stabilized, feel free. So you do 5 in each way. And then we hug it in. Good. We'll stretch that leg long. We'll connect those heels together. Point your feet. And let's just stretch those arms long and feel everything connected. Arms on your back. Pelvis anchored. Reach through your tail. Ribs down. And just feel the stretch, but you're stretched with connection. And then circle those arms around. Pull one thigh in towards your armpit. The other thigh towards your armpit. You are not lifting your tail. Your tail is anchored and reaching long. That's super important. And then just pull those knees towards each armpit and hold and breathe. And then one leg down and the other leg down. Okay, so this is where I'm going to need you to grab one of those pillows. All right, so we're going to do 2 exercises from our ab series, the single leg stretch and double leg stretch. It is so much harder to do when you're down on the ground like this. So you can totally do this where we're just going to pull one knee in and the other one's a little further away. And we just sort of pull in and then press in. So we just do a little pull and then a press down as you keep your tail nice and long. And then you switch sides. We pull in and then press down and feel that hip stretch, right? It's a pull and press. This is fine, but then when you get to double leg stretch, you got to do it from here, and we reach the arms and legs long without letting anything pooch up. Circle those arms around, reach for your heels, and here you are. We reach and we pull. So if that's okay for you, if you feel like you're connected enough, strong enough to do that, you can. You're still working on your core strength. You can actually lift your head a little bit in support of, you can even be like a little bigger if you want, where you're up a little bit, but we're not totally compressed where you're compressing your spine. It's not like I'm flexing anything. I'm just lifting my head a little bit. This is not that big. I could actually go bigger, where then you do it from here, and it just helps you to grip the abdominals a little bit more. So we're going to pull, press, pull, press. So find wherever you want to work. Now you're doing these pull-ins from your center like we did in our warm-up. That little press in, do you feel that stretch? Pull, press, pull, press. One more time. Now we pull them both in. All right, so a little bit more vulnerable on the back, but see how you feel. If you feel good, let's go for a reach, wrap around, and pull it on in. And again, nice long neck, reach, and pull. Breathe into the back. Pull that belly in, exhale, deepen the belly. Pull those hips together, one more. Good, hug into the armpits, press that tailbone long, it's also heavy. And then one leg down, turn, and press yourself up. So anytime you have some back or spinal stuff going on, you never want to roll up, or we don't really articulate, okay? Just want to keep everything so you're working with gravity. So let's do a little spine stretch forward. So your legs are as wide as your mat, okay? And you're trying to sit up tall. And if your core strength isn't there yet, or your spine is feeling really stiff and you can't get up tall from here, you're going to bend your legs, okay? The key is we want to be able to sit right on top of those sitting bones, draw that belly in and lengthen, okay? So you're going to reach your arms long, and we're going to then just try to reach for our toes. And as you reach for your toes, you're just keeping your spine long. And if you can't touch the toes, that's fine. You just stay here and you elongate and breathe into that. Legs are straight or they're bent, however you feel today. And then arms come back up. And we find our center. Sit up tall. Lean. Hold. And up. Good. And reach. Tallness, tallness, tallness. I'm going to try to maybe straighten the legs a little bit more, see how I feel. Might feel a little too tight, I think. Good. And then release and come down. Awesome. Just shake that out a little bit. All right, we're going to go to our stomach. So you do need one of your props, that rolled up towel. Okay. Or you can use any sort of these props if you have them. I'll put some links below if you are interested in these. They are like kind of the perfect shape So we're going to take it down. Now, why you put this right under your pelvis? So it's kind of right where your hip bones are. It allows you to elongate that low back. If you don't have it and you're not used to pulling your center in, you can easily just sit in compression in your low back. So just give that a go. If you're not used to doing Pilates and you're lying here, if it goes right into your low back, you're definitely going to want this prop, okay? I'm going to use this prop just because it really does feel good to elongate the back. So as you hang out here, it just feels really nice. You're going to take your arms down by your sides with your palms up. Your legs have some distance between them, okay? You want to spin those inner thighs up to the ceiling. Feet are down. And let's just breathe here. So remember, we breathe into our back. So as we do that, we want to lift the ribs up into that back without changing the shape of your spine. Just pull in, expand those ribs, pull your center in. And then on your exhale, pull that center in more. Just like when we were on our back, right? Inhale, we're just reversed. Breathe into the ribs, the mid-spine, mid-back. And then on your exhale, draw that belly in. So now the belly pulls away from the floor instead of pulling into it. But either way, we're pulling into our spine. Now keep that connection, and on your inhale, start to lift those arms and hover your chest. So your arms are connected to your back, right? We're just hovered here. We're not in our low back at all. So keep that pubic bone heavy, your feet heavy. Breathe into the back. Pick that belly up on your exhale as you let everything go. Inhale up. Exhale down. So be careful, those shoulders aren't rounding forward, right? We still need to keep the arms on the back. So they do sort of rotate open and down a little. Not compressing. We've talked about that. Thumbs into your sides. Try it now with your palms turning down. Different angle of the shoulder. Pinkies into your sides now. Now we don't want to come up so far into our back. This is all about length. 2 more. Feet heavy, pubic bone heavy. One more time. Lift those arms up and release. All right, now we're going to slowly, it's okay to go back into a child's pose because we are working with gravity here. And just allow your spine to go. So if you do have osteoporosis and you're nervous about flexion and whatnot, just know in real life, we do flexion. So it is okay to flex your spine when you're releasing into it and you're gentle with it and you're not compressing into it, okay? We need to be able to flex our spine. Okay, good. And then we come on up. Okay, so now we're going to turn it around and we're going to go onto our back. So we are on our back, and remember, we don't want to pull our feet in too far where we have too much hip flexion. We want to keep an open hip a bit and about sit bone distance. Arms down by your side. So we will do some bridge work here, but it's going to feel a little different than what we normally do. It's going to sort of feel like we're really extending the spine a bit more. So I want you to push your feet into the mat equally. Feel your heels pull to your seat and your seat to your heels. So really activate the back of your legs. And all I want you to do, we're not articulating, you're just pushing your pelvis up and pressing your knees forward. So you want that sensation of the knee, of the heels pulling to the seat and the seat to the heels. So you're pushing into it, so you're off your back. If we push back into it, do you feel yourself pressing into your back? I don't want that. I want you pushing forward, and it's more about the hamstring and the seat. And then just take it back down. I just went, I think, a little too far with my feet. All right, press right up. Pushing the knees over your toes, heels to seats, press the pelvis down, lift it back up. So you should feel right into those seat and hamstrings working. If you haven't, adjust your feet so that's what you're feeling. No pressure on your back. Keep shifting your butt bones towards your heels. Keep those ribs pulled in. So you don't press too high where you're arching your back, right? Arms are anchored. I have to keep reminding myself, push those butt bones forward. Heels drag to the seat. 2 more. Good job. And then we're going to let those knees come in 1 and 2 and pull to your armpits. Yay! Good job. All right, so let's turn to our side. Now, when we work our side and you have any spinal stuff going on, we don't want to flex our spine. We're trying to stay away from that. So if I were to come up onto my elbow, I'm going to end up flexing my spine. So either your arm is long or you're hugging in like this, whatever keeps your neck nice and aligned. You have to line up with the back of your mat. It is so important. So make sure you are lined up. If you have someone in the room, have them spot you to make sure. All right, so we're going to cradle or reach the arm, whichever feels more comfortable. I'm going to bend my bottom leg for a base of support and stretch the opposite leg long. All right, so as we're doing this, you want to really pull your hip away. And as you pull the hip away, you're bringing this rib and lifting up. It's like your center, right? Pulling that center into you. So if I pull my center into me, naturally my kind of rib falls into place. Do you feel that? So you're holding that, reaching your neck long and your crown of your head long. Stretch that leg from your center. Oh yeah. And then we're just going to kick it. 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's going to probably be a smaller range of motion than you're used to because it's all about stabilization. I care more about that torso being stabilized. Try not to go too far back where you arch your low back. It's not going to help you at all. And you want to anchor that bottom leg. Good. Now you're going to stretch the bottom leg and go heel to heel. So we got to really press that top leg long. Your center lifts. We lift up, but you have to lift up, keeping your center lifted. If I lift too high, I lose it. All right, turn that leg out, bring it down, up. So it's more about stability and strength than flexibility. Lift. Ooh, yeah. These work hard if you're connected. 2 more. 2. Good job. And 1. Excellent job. And then just release. Good. All right. So we are going to turn to our stomach again. So I'm going to get that little thing for my pelvis. Go to my stomach. It goes right where kind of my hip bones are. Hands on under the forehead, and then click your heels together. So I want you to anchor your pubic bone, squeeze those hips together, and just elevate your feet a smidge. If I go too high, it's going to go right into my low back. That's not what it's about. Just a little hover. Pick your center up. And then we just squeeze the heels open and close from the inner thighs. Breathe into the back. Exhale from the center. Pubic bone heavy. My feet like to lift a lot in this. Got to really just keep it long. It's all about extending the spine, it's keeping it long, and not going into that low back. Good. And then release. All right, I'm going to do this gently. So I turn to the other side. You can just switch and turn to the wall. You don't have to switch totally. All right, so I'm going to line up with the back of my mat. Arm long or bent, really making sure I am lined up. All right, it's all about aligning today. All right, anchoring the bottom leg. Reach through this hip. Pull your center in, everything connected. There should be like a little, it's like a little mouse hole, right? And then we go forward and back. Anchoring the bottom leg and keeping your neck nice and lengthened. So all of this posture work is going to help you feel much more connected in just your posture on a daily basis. Everything is posture oriented in this class today. Good. Keep that center connected. I just lost it for a sec. Stretch the front leg, heel to heel, turn it out, lift, flex down. So that turnout, keep your center in. Don't let it collapse in that waist. Because if I collapse, then I'm in side flexion, right? We want that long spine. 2 more. Excellent. And 1. Oh yeah, turn it. Okay, so I'm going to go again with this under my hips. Extension is so important. Our spine is actually super strong in extension and we don't do it enough. The regular Pilates routine is very flexion oriented, but we're flexing in a way that we're finding the longest flexion possible, right? But if you're feeling any pain in your back or you're not really strong enough in your center, it could feel like not good flexion. So we want to always make sure we're coming from the longest place possible, and this extension work really helps. So we're going to press our arms in front of us and our legs down here, okay? And put the pubic bone down, all right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to lift an arm and lift a leg. And as you do that, hold right there. The leg doesn't lift very high. I want the arm to lift higher than the leg. And then lower down. Other side. We lift, find the seat and hamstring of that leg, pubic bone heavy, and then try to lift your arm higher. You can start to lift the chest a little bit if you're okay with that and your back feels okay with that. Pubic bone heavy. Lift the arm higher. Keep breathing. And then release and send it back to your heels. Good. So from here, I'm going to go to my hands and my knees. Squeeze your legs together and tuck your toes under. All right. And then it's really important that we are able to be on our wrists and hands because we actually want the forearms and biceps and back to get the work. And we need those muscles to be able to support us. All right. So what you're going to do is feel like you're almost turning your mat, turning your palms in your mat, but your palms don't move, to connect those arms on your back. All right. Take an inhale, breathe into your back. And then exhale. Feel that center pull, feel it pull into your spine. All right, so you're going to get that tailbone really elongated. Feel the neck elongate. 1 more breath. All right, take an inhale to prepare. Breathe into the back. And then on the exhale, as you pull your center in, hover the knees. Reach through that tail. Feel the head in opposition. You feel that long spine and your center's just pulled in, and then release. All right, take a little breather. And now we inhale, prepare. And then exhale, pick it up. Arms are on your back. You stretch through the tail, you stretch through the head, and that center pulls in. Should feel super strong. 1 more time. And up we go. Beautiful. And then just release it down. And we're going to take it down to our elbows. So now as we go on our elbows, you want your shoulders right over your elbows, and you want your wrists and palms and fists to be lined up with your elbows. All right, so everything is lined up there. And then you're going to sort of just take your knees a little further away so you can find more of an angle in your plank. All right, and then you're going to stretch 1 leg long, center pulled in, and then 1 knee down, 1 knee down. All right, really find connected on your back, your center's pulled in. We stretch 1 leg, inhale, exhale, and inhale, exhale. And you can keep your legs about sit bone distance. They do not have to be connected at the heel. All right, do it again. Reach, reach,
bend, bend. All right, one more time. And reach, reach, bend, bend, and take it back. Oh yeah, nice and slow. Breathe into this. All right. We're going to go to all fours. One more time. I'm trying to kind of go back and forth between elbows and wrists so you're not on your wrist too much, but we got to go on our wrist one more time. These are super important. All right, so we're going to take our left hand forward and our right leg back. All right, feel that connection. Breathe in, pull your center up. All right, and then we lift. And then as you hold here, try to lift your arm higher than your leg, even though they'll be in one long line, and then drop it back down. Lift it up. Pull the center in. Try not to go into that low back. One more time. We lift it up and bring it back. Right arm, left leg. All right, center, lift up. Think about that inner thigh up to the ceiling, right? Bring it back down and up. Center's really lifted. Lift that arm a little higher than the leg. Take it down. Bring it up. Bring it back to center. One arm up. Lift and down. Other arm. Pull the ribs in. 4. Keep stretching through that tail. 3. Feet anchored. 2. Now hold this one up and stretch your opposite leg. Bring it down. Reach. And up. Are you in your low back? Stay pulled in from your center. One more each side. Lift. And lift. Good. And release. And then just fall into the heels. Let your body relax here. You're with gravity, right? And then we just kind of roll up through the spine. I know my head's chopped off a little bit. Hopefully it's not too much. All right. And we're going to just stand with our sit bone distant apart. So I've said before, it's really important to end standing. So we're just going to take sort of one hand on top of the other, rest our hands sort of right above our head. And I want you to sit back. And then as you sit back, you're going to bring your weight forward with your knees lined up with your second and third toe, right? What we did the other day. But as you sit the butt bones back, the weight of your body is forward. Now you're drawing your ribs in, you're drawing your center in. You're going to do the breath pattern that we've been doing. Inhale into the back. Exhale, pull that center in and stand up in your muscles. And we take it back. Weight forward. Inhale. Exhale. And up. Try it again. Sit it back, keep your weight forward so the knees track with those toes, your ribs are pulled in, your spine is so long. So if I were to reach the arms, just a super long spine. Little chair pose here as we just stretch the head. So we want to really elongate the back of the neck, right? So you want to be careful you're not looking up. You want to gaze sort of right where the wall meets the floor and get a nice long neck. All right, pull the ribs in and stretch it up. Got it? One more time. Press, elongate, pull those ribs in, breathe into your back. Look at the floor and where the floor meets the wall. Stretch the neck long, keep the chin tucked in. Come up, circle those arms around and just kind of roll those shoulders back a few times. Good. How do you feel? You good? So no flexion, no twisting. I had a little whiplash, so I am feeling that routine really made me feel good. I feel really energized. How do you feel? So a routine that you can just go back to just connects with your posture. Your posture is from your center, right? And we've talked about the arms and the back, working the seat and hamstring. So those are super important muscles that we've learned the past
2 weeks. We're in our 3rd week now. So now to connect that to our posture, you can see how your center has to work an awful lot. So hopefully you felt that. If you have any questions, let me know below. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate this 21 days. It's keeping me present, and hopefully for you too. So thank you, and I will see you again tomorrow. Okay? Take care.